GloryDaze, the best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim.
On Radio Nova.
Hello again. God, it feels like an age.
It is an age. It's been 100 years, at least 100. I've been in Tiernan Og or something, because that's what it feels like over the last while.
I actually can't remember when the last time we did the podcast. It is the podcast, PJ and Jim podcast.
There was a pandemic and everything there since the last time we did it. It was unbelievable.
Well, yeah. There was bound to be something. Well, you see, I mean, if you keep insisting on being good at everything,
I'm not good at it.
Do you know what I mean?
See, this is the problem.
You know,
yeah, if I actually focused on one thing, I might be good at it. Instead, I just spread it thinly, so I'm equally sort of incapable at everything,
right?
To some degree.
No, come on now, stop this now. I know, look, you know, every time I refer to you as a celebrity and all that sort of stuff, you go, would you stop?
That's because you're taking the piss.
I'm not.
It is.
Look at all the strings to your bow, right?
Oh, here
so
we go.
So you started off stand-up comedian. Then you became a television personality star person, right? With all that. Then now you're on the what? Now you're a radio on the radio television, and the radio used to be on the television star person.
Oh my God.
Right? You're an actor star person. Yep. You know, with young offenders and everything and all the acting thing.
Right.
You had a play on.
I did. I had two of them.
Two of them. Look at them.
Yeah, two of them. Yeah.
So you just walk the boards of the theatre's star.
Yeah,
person.
but I wrote it myself. I didn't exactly learn a book for Shakespeare or something.
And then, what do you call it? The other thing, which we didn't even mention on the actual show today, but I assume it'll be okay to mention it here.
Oh, gosh, yeah, of course it's okay.
Because it'll all, you know, you'll be aware of it potentially by the time you're listening to this. Is of course you're now the writer of a book.
And there's a book.
There's a PJ book.
Now it's not going to be till later in the year, but there is a book coming out. Yeah, it's all about, you know, I suppose it's kind of the essential how to lose friends and not influence anybody to a point. But yeah, because you may, I didn't really mention it much. I don't want to go on about it. So I'll say it once, I won't say it again. But I was in hospital there for a while.
Yeah. See, that's the other thing. I forgot to make out that you were a mental health advocate, activist, star person as well. I mean,
I'm on the
is there no string? You have so many strings. You're like a harp. That's what you're like. You're like a harp.
Yeah, that's out of tune. Nothing like you won't get a song out of it. Just a random plinking, plonking. And string pulling of a child.
Joe, I was just thinking, it's people like you that prevents the rest of us, you know, having a go or, you know, being able to get. There's no work left. You just hoover up all the work you do.
What are you talking about?
Unbelievable.
If anything, it's the opposite. I set the standard so low that people go, well, if that Egypt can do it, surely the rest of us can. But there is a book coming out. Yeah, it's gas.
And the weird thing about it is, like, it's like words and everything. It's not like. You know what I mean? It's not like
pop-up book.
Yeah, it's not like those books that you do where, you know, you just look at the pictures and you sort of create the story, you know, like, say, for kids, you know. You know what I mean? Or you don't have to colour in anything. Like, there's words in. I don't know who put the words in, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, it wasn't me. I can't read this book. I don't know what's in it. But it'd be great crack, yeah. And the gas thing is, it's one of those typical things. Of course, like, you know, you spend how many years of your life? 26 years or something. I got into my first stand-up gig trying to make people laugh, and then I end up writing a book because I'm one of the most depressing people in Ireland. So that's sort of. Yeah, so I was just
thinking though, it is a weird, slightly weird thing that, you know, all those people, for all those years, people walked away from your gigs. They've been laughing and laughing and laughing, and invariably, guaranteed, with Irish audiences, they will have turned around, because they say it to me all the time, and they go like about you. They go like, "Oh, he's mad, isn't he?" And it turns out they were right.
They were dead right. The tears of a clown, the woes of the fool. Yeah, it turns out they were right.
And you got a book out of it.
I got a book out of it. Oh, it should have happened years ago. I wish I had a major breakdown in my 20s. I'd be a millionaire now.
Yeah.
No one's paid me for anything.
I'm always late to the party on these trends.
Always late. Trust me to have a breakdown just after it's fashionable. You know, unbelievable.
So this is kind of being brought out then. It's going to be the ultimate stocking filler, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gas though, because I was doing, how big our
stocks
by the time most people will have heard this now, I'll have been on the last late with Ryan, and it was gas. They do these research calls, where they ring and they say to you, they frame questions a certain way to see what your answers will be on air,
Yeah.
And your man, the researcher, a lovely fella, he goes, so, you came on the late, initially initially to open up the subject and get people talking about mental health. And I was there. I did not. I didn't mean bollocks. I did it because me and Jim were so selfish that we were thinking, like, you know, at least I want to get something out of this. And also, I did it because I was thinking, I remember we had this conversation. We said, we'll do the podcast, you and me.
Yeah.
And then we'll go do the late show.
Yeah.
And then everyone will know, and we'll never have to speak about mental illness ever again. That was the plan, do you remember?
You said, I want to get it done and dusted. I don't want this shit dragging on.
Yeah, I don't want to be the next mental health campaigner. This is for me now. I just want to get the story out.
Yeah, I've told you now. Stop at me.
Yeah, and then leave me alone. Literally, I was trying to shut down the conversation. You know, that was the whole point, was let's get it done. We'll have it.
Yeah.
We'll do it with them. And when we do it with them, we'll stick Radio Nova right in the centre of it. We're getting, like, hopefully, and then nobody will ask me about it ever again. It'll be done.
Yeah.
My God, how wrong was we on that one?
Yeah,
you know,
it blew up.
It blew up so much. Yeah.
And the other thing about it,
and the bad gas thing was, there's so many people coming up to me since then going, jeez, that's and how was Jim through all this? And no offence to you, Jim, but I was like, what the fuck? What's wrong with Jim? Jim seemed all right to me.
Yeah,
you know.
Like,
Jim,
I don't care. I didn't even ask him.
I know he was stressed out near the end. Because I was making you all lie for me. That's why I did it, really, was because I was making you all lie for me. I just thought, just tell the truth and then get it over and done with.
Yeah, but I think it'll be great news now that I think we'll probably end up talking about it on the show properly, so to speak, as in on air or whatever. But I do think the book's going to be great crack.
Yeah.
I think it'll be huge.
I hope so.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I really hope. Actually, you know something?
Like, God, I hope so too. I assume there's. I don't know what way you broke the royalties down, but I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be some of it at least going my way.
I don't think there is royalties. I think it's kind. You know the way you sort of hedge your bets. I don't think there is. You sort of hedge your bets. You kind of go, well.
So you just took the
lump
sum,
that,
did you?
And then and take the lump sum, or you could do after royalties. I'm sort of going. There's not that many people interested in me. I'll take the lump sum. Yeah, I think it works. I can't remember how it works. But
Deadly. Anyway, that's all for the future. Of course, at the moment, depending on when you're listening to this, hopefully the old Hunt sunny spell will be kind of still going when you're listening to this, depending if it's over the weekend or whatever. Because that's the weird thing about it is, from an Irish perspective, is when you get the sun, right, you get like a week like they'll have it at the moment, 18, 20 degrees. You're always worried that's it.
I know.
There won't be any more.
I know.
It'll be. When it arrives, that's your spell. If you don't get it,
it's gone.
Yeah.
You've missed out. You no point to anything at all. Yeah, I know. That's exactly it. Yeah. And I hope it's not like that. It won't be. Here's us being miserable again. It'll be fine. We always say it every year.
Yeah, but it's come on. It is Ireland, and that is we know from the past. Sometimes a summer in Ireland is a specific week somewhere between.
I know, but
May and August.
But there's nothing worse than the smug shites who revel in that. Lovely day. Yeah, take a fucking picture. That's it. That's summer 2024 and all. Now wrapped up in that.
Yeah.
It's
the
not
people
that
in church.
bad.
You say to somebody, "Jesus, it was lovely there yesterday, wasn't it?" Yeah. There you go. That was it.
Yeah.
Summer night. There it is. In a nutshell.
I'm glad you saying it. I was walking. What were you doing? Oh my God! I'm just saying it was a lovely day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's that over and done with now. Or those head cases that go beautiful day and they're standing in the pub looking out the window. Sure, you'd be mad not to be out in that. Absolutely.
I'm not going to join into this conversation.
Mad.
I'd be one of them
Out of
head
your
cases.
mind to be sitting indoors on a day like that.
I'd be one of them
No,
head
yeah,
cases.
yeah.
Because even when somebody turns around and says to you, "Do you want will we sit outside, will we?" And you go, it makes the beer go funny and all.
He says this, but he went one day last summer or the summer before. Jim went out for a pint and he sent me pictures of him sitting down having a pint with a goat.
It wasn't a goat. Oh, it was a goat, actually.
It was a goat.
That was later in the evening.
Well, sorry, excuse me. I didn't realise there was a pre-noon goat. It's not like I got drunk with the goat before lunch.
They don't let goats in until after 9. Admittedly, there was that ghost incident.
But that's a great way to do it. I mean, in fairness, if someone said that to me today, I think they had the summer net. It's a beautiful day. He says, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm meeting a goat there at 3 o'clock. Am I going for a pint up in the hills?" I'd be like, "That is Actually, that's a brilliant way to spend your day.
Yeah.
I mean, where'd you get to go? I don't know. We're going to have a little bit of a stroke and a pint, and then now chips between us.
Please don't say you're going to have a little bit of a stroke.
Well, I should have said a rub of his a pet. We're going up the mountains to stroke a few goats, and then they're going to have a jar.
It's not the reputation we want to cultivate, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, that's a Jim McCabe. If they're going, oh, you drink 1,000,000 pints, they don't call you a drinker. You stroke one goat. You stroke one goat.
Anyway, actually, speaking of enjoying yourself in the sun or whatever, you're doing this thing. Are you going to this thing this weekend? Is it this weekend?
The Rock and
that's
Roll
on?
Festival, yeah. It's on.
So PJ was telling me about this, and in fairness, it does sound great, and it's for a good cause and everything, and it's kind of like, what's it called?
The Rock and Roll Festival.
Rock and Roll.
I think it's called that. Yeah, the Rock and Roll Festival. Yeah,
and
it used to be on years ago. It's brilliant.
Yeah, there's all sorts
vintage
of music.
Cars, vintage bikes, vintage motorcycles. It's a bring your own beer event. It's a tennery, and all the money goes to the blind school. I don't know how you say that. It's like when I was on
the politically correct version of that nowadays.
It was like when I was on stage once, and there was a blind man in the front row, and I asked him, did he have a blind dog? And he goes, what use would a blind dog be to me? He goes, the two of us wouldn't know where we were going.
Yeah, it's a fair point. But when PJ was describing it to me, this description was, like the Beaufilas there with their jeans rolled up playing the bass and all.
The rockabilly music, how's it going? And all,
Beaufilas with their jeans rolled up.
Yeah. And haircuts that are too young for them. You know them. It's all that. It's deadly crack. It's great, so it is. Yeah.
Oh man.
So it's going to be all that. Be out there, and then of course there's a Dublin are playing Roscommon at 4 o'clock in Crow Park. So we're just going to cross the road and go on in there. So it's going to be great. Yeah.
Cheapers, yeah.
Another thriller, another sports thriller. Roscommon Dublin. Whoa. This unpredictable championship just keeps on giving.
How many goals will it be?
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to enjoy the festival with the tenterhooks I'll be on. Hanging on, going in there.
Anyway, so it should be a good weekend. Listen, it was a good week as well. We had good crack during the week. Our first kind of week back, really, since PJ kind of wrapped up the acting bit with the young offenders. And we had a few bits and pieces every day this week. We ended up... my note here is elephant and monkey. I mean, I'm not really... I'm trying to remember...
well, I'll tell you what that is. We were talking about the elephant in the zoo being the biggest entertainer, and then Gerard, the little, the one that was at the end of the zoo. You suggested he should have been at a different part of the zoo.
Yeah.
And what he does...
It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah, back in the day. Not all monkeys are good lads.
Right. Anyway, you'll get to hear it very shortly. Yeah. Also, we discovered that who'd have thought that the wine you choose.
Yeah.
Oh no, or is it the other way around? Your personality should dictate the wine you choose.
Your personality, will dictate the wine that's best suitable for you. Yeah.
Right.
Apparently,
okay.
That's what they say. That's what the sommeliers are saying now.
It'll come as no great shock that I came off very badly in this
when
PJ got a hold of it.
It's just very. All I'm saying is, it's very what you would expect. That's all I'm saying.
Also, we were talking about, there was a very strange, now this is going to sound unusual, right, but there was a rather strange crime scene, okay? There was a crime committed, and it was quite a strange crime scene. There was a lamb involved, basically.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, that crime scene sparked a great memory for PJ.
And honestly, the only thing I can say about this is suffered in Lama Jesus. Wait till you hear this story. That's all I can say. It happened last week in Cork. Yeah.
Both stories. And then also, of course, as always on the show, we were talking about food. Although specifically the lack of it really was this kind of story.
The lack of and what you do when you run out. I'm not talking. This isn't like nations in trouble. This is just one poor fella on a building site. But you do what you have to do.
Who lost his custard creams.
Yeah, you do what you have to do.
Anyway, have a listen to all of that. We'll chat to you on the other side.
GloryDaze, the best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim.
On Radio Nova.
There's a weird story in the papers this morning that involves... It sounds like the start of a joke.
Yeah.
It involves a lamb, a bag of chips and a bag of drugs.
Yeah, in Scotland there this week. So there was a police chase involved where police obviously got suspicious of this car for some reason, or maybe it was some sort of stakeout, if you will. It doesn't really go into the detail. But basically they gave chase. They pulled over a car, caught the villains in question, I suppose they might say. finding 11,500 euros worth of Class A drugs next to a lamb on the back seat eating a bag of chips. Which is
Yeah, it's quite the scene.
Yeah. So apparently it was a stolen lamb, but being well treated by its kidnappers as it was eating chips. Thankfully, it didn't take any of the cocaine.
You would question. You would question what the sort of modus operandi of that particular gang was. What their target, if they steal a lamb and a bag of drugs. It's not the normal sort of crossover. Do you know what I mean? I know back in the day there might have been cattle rustling or something.
Yeah.
But your average kind of drug kingpin,
I know, and
stealing a lamb.
I know, and the weird. The story just gets weirder and weirder because the lamb's name is actually Pablo, and
of course, don't tell me he's the brains behind the operation.
Well, Pablo Escobar. Yeah.
Escobar. I'm sorry. That is such a stupid joke.
That was the best joke I've heard.
Dear Lord.
Oh my God, Pablo Escobar. That is fantastic.
So what? So he's Pablo.
So Pablo,
it's a drug lord's pet lamb or something, is it?
We really don't know too many details yet. We think it was a stolen lamb. It looks like it was a stolen lamb. But he's happy. He's healthy. He's into his chips. He's not doing. He won't be doing time. He won't be convicted. I tell you something. It's weird what happens in cars, man. I was in Cork last Friday. Or was it last week? Yeah. And you know the way Irish people, the kings of the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah.
You know that way? And I was sitting there, one of the lads in Cork, lovely fella, going, come out to my local, I look after you. Your money is no good in Cork, boy. Your money's no good in Cork. I'm going to look after you. You come to my local.
Wow.
And comes down.
You're a proper kind of like... Yeah, he's a big name down like in Cork.
No, I'm working with this lad. He's working on the set and all, you know. He's like, you know, I know him, you know.
Right.
But he was full on now this week, you know. And then the other lad that was working on the set, he goes, no, do us a favour. The other fella's much more laid back. When you get down the pub, don't be annoying him, like, you know. Don't be taking pictures and the whole lot.
He was saying to your man?
He was saying to your man. He
goes, right,
okay. PJ down there, don't be taking all the pictures, no. Just leave him be, you know.
Yeah.
Get down. Anyway, they're doing videos of me pulling points. They're doing videos with the locals. I'm calling over the road to say happy birthday to Elfless. It was absolute chaos.
Nightmare.
Start to finish, right? And your man, and every
sorry,
time...
were you going to this pub anyway?
No,
he specifically
this all happened
asked
because I says, is there anywhere you'd be able to see Bows playing Rover? So that's what it was. So it wasn't last Friday, it was the Friday before, right?
Okay.
And he goes, I look after you, I make sure to put it on the big screen, you'll have everything, the whole place to yourself, no bother! You want to look after you! I look after you!
Does everybody at Cork speak like that?
No, this guy does, though. And he's like, and then I get there, and of course he wouldn't stop talking through the whole match, so I never seen a kick of the ball. And every time I turned around, I was like, I'm going to get around him. You're put your money away, I cut your hand off you. Your money is all good. Anyway,
but meanwhile, he was getting you to do every personal appearance he could conjure up.
Oh, I'm going around pictures and doing that thing that's so embarrassing. Do you know,
walking up to random customers. Do you want a picture with PJ?
Exactly. At one point, there's an old lad selling, you know, the GAA tickets in the pub. You know, and he goes, do you know that, Ben? International famous comedian. I'm not, no, stop now. Stop now. This is getting ridiculous. And the old
Give him
boy,
a free ticket.
Yeah, is the international famous comedian? You don't know him? International famous comedian, Richard Pryor. Not on this lad. I was like, oh, stop, please. And the old lad then starts going, I don't know you. I'm so sorry, I don't know you. I don't know his heart. Maybe I should. And he goes,
that's really embarrassing.
You do know him? Remember the whistling idiot? The whistling idiot? Oh man, it just went on and on. I was like, please stop, and then please stop. And anyway, then at the end of the night, I go, I'm gonna get a taxi. I'm done. I can't take anymore. I'm gonna get a taxi.
Right.
Free now, whatever, Halo, whatever it's called. He's like, don't. Your money's not going to talk. It's not happening. I get you a lift. I was like, please. Anyway, he goes over the road to the chipper, and he goes to the lad delivering the chips. You're taking him home. Puts 20 quid in his hand. Take him home. Keep him safe. Is it rant?
Why did he go to the lad in the chipper?
Why any of this happened, I have no idea. Right? But he's there. You're going to take him home. So I get into the car, and the man in the car goes, I hope you don't mind, no, but we have to do a few deliveries on the way. Yeah.
So you mean he wasn't asking him to go outside of his job to do you a favour?
Well, that's
he
what
just
I assumed.
Because he was a delivery driver. He just wanted him to deliver you home.
Back to the hotel. Hope you don't mind, no. Why we do a few deliveries now on the way back.
So what did you end up doing?
And I had to sit there, and your man's talking to me, and that's 2 kebabs now. This fellow wanted, and I have the bag of chips here. I'm after forgetting his drink. We'll have to go back for this drink. I'm like, this is driving me up the wall.
It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim.
On Radio Nova.
Do you know something, Jim? Calories. We're putting on we put in more calories.
I know.
And it turns out, now researchers in Denmark are saying there's no need to eat your sausage rolls. When you feel like you want a sausage roll, you can satiate yourself by merely looking at a picture of a sausage roll. They're saying that there's no, like, it really, if you want to suppress cravings or appetite, simulate weight loss, that they did this experiment where they got people to look at 30 pictures of sweets and sort of candies, as they might call them, and things like that, and then took them away, and people said, you still want them? And they were like, not really.
Wow.
Not really. Apparently it stimulates you enough just to look at them. I can say, that doesn't work for me.
No.
At all.
Oh, and surely that goes against the idea that, when you see something and you think, oh my God, that looks lovely.
I love that.
Oh,
I'd love
would
that.
that not give you the goo? Would
I
that not
would have
make you
thought
hungry?
So. It definitely does for me. I'm one of those people. I hear like da 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 da, and I go, I'm getting from McDonald's. I'm the most easily sold. You know, the advertising works.
From the man who hears chocolate speaking to him.
I can hear chocolate in the fridge.
PJ, I'm so delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't work for it. And the other thing is then, when you say photograph, do you mean, like, so does it have to be like a photograph, like a picture? Or if you saw, say, I don't know, a big cake or whatever it would be in the shop window, or if you saw it on a table somewhere, if you just stared at it, would that work? There's no question. There's no way you'd
That's a good
have
question.
enough self.
I doubt that would work because, like that self-preservation, like the old self-control, it's not. You're going to get stuck.
I've never had much of that.
But I don't believe this anyway. So they're telling me that basically I can walk into McDonald's and then they go, "What would you like, sir?" I was just going, "No, I'm just here to look at the pictures."
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah, so it's
I was going to get a load of stuff, but that Big Mac picture, that was enough for me. You know, any chance I could pose with a couple of chicken nuggets? Like,
That'd be
definitely
brilliant.
not
You wouldn't
gonna
even
work.
have to take a trolley around the supermarket. You just walk along, looking at the shelves, going, "Oh, I enjoyed that.
Oh.
I've just been staring at a full packet of custard creams.
Oh, Lindt balls.
Stuffed I am.
Wow, I couldn't have another one now. After seeing 400 of them.
Tell you something.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's a strange one. That a photograph.
Mind you, if here's a version of events you might not think. I worked with a lad when we were working out in Leak Slip years ago. One of those lads has never had a bit of luck in his life. Do you know them lads?
Yeah.
He was staying years ago when we worked on the building sites. Some of the lads who weren't from around, they'd put them in a little B&B or whatever with the L ones.
Right,
around the
okay,
area.
yeah.
This fella was working, and she had a dog, the little L ones. They were sitting up there watching TV. She goes, "I'm off to bed anyway. You just put yourself with it." And he was sitting there and eating custard cream. He had a pack of custard creams. And went to get out of a seat, and the dog was like, big Alsatian. He gave the dog a custard cream.
Growling at him?
Growled at him. He gave the dog a custard cream. And then he goes, the dog barked. He said, "I waited there, I watched the movie," he goes. And then he went to get up later. The dog woke up, gave him another custard cream. He wasn't able to get out of the chair the whole night. He was afraid of the dog. The L had to come in. He says he gave the man a whole packet of custard creams and he still wasn't allowed to go. Right. And the same fella had no money for a week in work. No money. Right. And he didn't tell any of us. Any of us would have bought him something to eat. He says, "I was so hungry last week. I get a page out of a cooking book," he goes. What are you talking about?
It's a page out of a cookery book.
Yeah, he goes, "I get a page out of a cook." And one of the lads that was with us he goes, "What was on it?" He said, "A beef casserole." He had a picture of a beef casserole.
What? And did it work? Did he say it was?
Well, he got to sleep. He got into us and we gave him a sandwich. So got him that far, yeah. He had a picture of a beef casserole. He said he was reading about it and he couldn't resist it. He was reading the ingredients going, onions, fried, herbs and spices. The whole lot, and then he just couldn't. He had to page, yeah.
That in itself, that's proper weird. Is May who turned around and went, "What was on it?" It's a bit weird as well.
No, yeah.
As though if he'd have turned around and went, "A quiche," I wouldn't have eaten that. I'd have gone more pages in.
I know. Imagine.
See if you could get a chicken curry or something.
No, imagine I came into here. Did you get what you have to eat last night, PJ? Oh, I just had a pic. I took a picture of some onion rings in the chipper and I ate them. You'd have me back in Pat's before the day was out.
GloryDaze, the best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim.
On Radio Nova.
So apparently, when you're going to the zoo and all, you know the way you go to the zoo and sometimes you see some of the animals and Well, sometimes you don't see them. You know that way?
As in, they won't even bother coming out?
Yeah, so here you'll see the, the Chilean anteater. I can't see anything. Well, he's under the log. Well, why doesn't he come out then? After costing me 15 quid in. Whatever. All of that. So, but the elephants, when it comes to elephants, research suggests they love the attention. Elephants are the showmen, the entertainers of the animal world when it comes to the zoo.
Wow.
Apparently, after visitors come to the zoo and leave, they show more signs of being social and foraging, and they seem to be more naturally happy after people have come to see them.
Wow.
So
elephants.
Elephants are essentially the sort of the most social, the entertainers.
You would imagine, like, I don't know, monkeys and everything, or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah, I suppose monkeys don't know what they're doing, though.
Well, lions probably just want to eat you, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Elephants don't normally strike you as showy types.
Yeah, I know. I don't think monkeys are very self-aware. An elephant is quite self-aware. Like, remember, when you go to there used to be one particular monkey when I was a young man, and you would go to the zoo, and just before you came out, there was the owl and your man, and he just wouldn't. I didn't like him at all. He never let go of his little banana. And he would be absolutely throwing it around the place. In a constant battle. It was like he was wrestling it. And it was like it was rude. It was rude. We're all trying to go home. It's one of the last things you ever see. And there's him, Gerard or whatever his name was, pulling his banana around the cage and going one corner to the other. Look at my banana, look at my banana.
Wow.
I was there saying, nobody wants to see that, Gerard.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. But in actual fact, it's the elephants who are supposedly the show people.
Yeah.
Obviously, whatever Gerard was doing, he should have been doing in private.
Gerard should have been in jail. Not a zoo.
He shouldn't have been in the public domain while he was doing that.
Gerard was mentally ill. And then you have...
Joseph, I just realised you must be the elephant in this particular room, right? Because I just realised if anybody walks in, right, even though we're doing a radio show, if a human walks in, right, PJ is drawn to them. It's like you forget you're doing a show, and you start talking to them.
And I forget the microphone is here and everything. I'm just trying to dance. I'm like dance monkey dance, not like Gerard now, but try that. I do. You're right. I'm the elephant.
You don't even have to. Although I suppose your obsession with food, don't feed the elephant.
Don't feed the elephant in the corner. You can see he's overweight. That is me. I actually am the elephant in this situation, aren't I?
You're not Year of the Elephant or anything, eh?
No, I'm Year of the Rat or something like that, which makes sense as well.
Whatever you start doing, don't start doing the impersonation anyway. We don't need to see that in the studio.
Oh no, I won't be doing that. And it's perfect because that makes Jim the gorilla in the zoo. The most intelligent animal in the zoo is sitting there and he's just like, do something. I do everything. I do something more than that though. He's like, I can practically speak. You're not saying that now. I'm going over to see Paddy the elephant and the other fella throwing his banana around the box.
It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim.
On Radio Nova.
I'm much more of a red wine man myself. In general.
Oh, in general?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that makes... Oh, that's... What that puts you
What's
here?
that got to do with anything?
Sorry, I've just found... Because I found a list here that tells you exactly what your personality is, kind of matches with wine. So, you know the way that you go into a place and they say, what sort of wine do you like? And some people say, I like heavy, what's whatever. And then your man goes, I like one with the York, hear that? Well, there's all these... Well, now they're saying there's different ways.
Yeah.
To that they can, instead
red or white.
Yeah, red or white. Or if Jim's case, who's so indecisive, he just goes a bubbly rosé.
Put it all into one glass.
Yeah, I can't make me mind up. Do you know something? I'll have your man's Yorkie as well. So they're saying that you can, by your personality, you can actually order a wine that suits you.
Okay.
So if you're extroverted, for instance, they say try Chianti Reserva. The grape behind the Chianti is very the extroverts like it. It's
Are you? Do you qualify as an extrovert?
No, I don't really know where. Actually, no. Here we go. Open-minded. That'll be me. As you know, I've time for everybody's opinions. So if you're open-minded like me, Jim,
right.
They say you should try, what is it? Tesco's Finest. Oh, so that means if you're thick. If you're half-wit. If you think you're getting the best wine in the world, what's your favourite wine? New World or Old World? I think Tesco Fairview would be about my favourite. The red one.
That's amazing. PJ be the only person who was ever asked, what particular wine region do you like? Is it more Bordeaux? Is it more kind of, New World perhaps? Australian, Chilean maybe even? I find around the Fairview area is very good for the wine myself now. Do you know what I mean?
Little East Wall now. That's a great... I don't know what sort of vineyard they have, but I am telling you, that stuff is rocket fuel.
Absolutely beautiful.
Rocket fuel.
Have you ever? I tell you should try a good Fairview wine if you ever get a chance.
Try it with a raisin and biscuit, Yorkie. If you're getting real posh. And then there's
so that's you open-minded with your Tesco finest.
Yeah, conscientious.
Does it not even give a grape variety?
A classic Bordeaux blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot.
That does sound good. That's Cabernet Sauvignon and a Merlot, a little blend. Lovely.
I love this as well. The wines from this particular region are famed for their considerable depth and structure and their long flavours on the finish.
Wow.
Yeah, because the last time I had Tesco noodles, it had the exact same effect on me as well, to be honest. Did you find one for me, by the way? Yes, conscientious. Strangely, people who overthink things and have probably too much empathy for the opposite humans in their life. They like Grenache grapes, and it comes in 3 colours. Of course it does. Make it harder for them to make a decision.
Three colours now.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
You can imagine Jim going, I'll just have one of each. Sir, there's 24 wines on the list. Just give us a bottle of each. I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I can't get to the bottom of it.
I'm sorry about this.
Could you put a little bit of everyone into a glass? And they say that so if you're like the most easily pleased person in the room, or you're the least likely to complain, this is you all over. You should stick with crowd pleasers such as Pinot Grigios.
Nice wine, Pinot Grigio.
Juicy, medium-bodied. That sounds like me.
I think you're throwing bouquets yourself there if you think you're medium-bodied.
True enough. I'll be there, Jim. Giovanni full-bodied with chips. That'd be right. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
man.
what sort of wine do you like? Something full-bodied. Smell a snack box up.
Wow.
Yeah, these are all...
So can you... So I'm assuming then that we're saying you can order your wine then based on your personality, is it? So if you walk in and you're a big extrovert and you go, I'd like something with, an extroverted... I'm an extrovert. What have you got for me?
Yeah, here's one I'll never get a taste of. Emotionally stable. Wins Estate Shiraz. So Shiraz is for the emotionally stable.
Great.
Yeah. Actually, they say try Tesco's finest coat-hated Rhone as well. So if you're emotionally stable, you can basically get through anything. It seems. Yeah. So there you go. So give up.
So you can order it. I'll order it that way in future. Yeah. How you doing? I'd like a glass of what am I called there?
What are you?
I'd like a conscientious glass of wine, please.
A conscientious Pinot Noir.
Or Pinot Grigio.
That'll be Jim now coming into us next time. Have you got any low emissions wine? Something that hasn't bothered the farmer too much.
Yeah. I'd like notes of anxiety and hints of
I love the way
self-deprecation
as well for the ones that you're mentioned, just in case because it's so hard for you to make a decision. For all the other ones, it just says the name. With your one, it puts the pictures of the 4 bottles underneath, as if to say this lad really needs to dig out here.
GloryDaze, the best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim
on Radio Nova.
Right, so there we go. Another week in the bag, wrapped up there. A few of the best bits from during the week. And next week, of course, heading into the bank holiday.
Yeah, next week, bank holiday,
Short
June
week.
Bank holiday weekend. So short week for us. My God, we're going to need it. We've been hearing here so much lately. So that's coming.
Looking forward to that.
Looking forward to it. Always the best bank holiday, I think.
It does kind of feel like the June one is the proper start of the summer, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the beginning of all the real festival season and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It is,
I'm still a bit unhappy about the fact that there's no bank holiday in July.
Yeah, I'll never get over that.
I
know we have one in August, and I know we have one, in June and May. It just feels inconsistent.
Absolutely. I mean, what would be wrong with having one a month?
I really don't know. Other countries do.
Yeah.
They definitely do. I can't say name them, Ranton. In fact, I don't even know if that's true. But I'm using it. I'm running with it. I'm running with other countries do.
That's good enough for me, man. That's good enough for me.
Evidence is what it is.
Right. Well, sure. Listen, we'll talk to you then ahead of the bank holiday weekend, I'm sure.
Who me?
No,
you will. I'll be here next week.
I was talking to the people listening to the podcast.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
You never listen to me, so there's no point in me talking to you.
Well, when it suits me. If I think I'm going to get something out of it, I am all ears.
You've been listening to Glory Days, the best of Radio Nova's Morning Glory with PJ and Jim. Catch the show live weekdays 6 to 10 on FM, online at nova.ie, or on the Nova app.